Hello, Dr. Prithvi. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. I'm good.
I think there is some
I'm
connectivity issues.
audible. Okay. I'm not audible, is it? Good. The connectivity is good, right? Now it's okay. Can you push it further? But ಇದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ. Get me that laptop.
So, hello, Doctor. Are you connectivity issue seems to be fine now?
You are muted yourself.
Yeah, Fatima ji, you can start. Hello everyone. So this is Mahesh again. So today we are having a live with Dr. Prithvi Chakravarti. So he is the CEO of Bangalore Genomic Center and one of the director. He is basically the MD orthopedic surgeon. So he has completed his MBBS from Hubli and masters from Ramaya. So he's basically a wonderful person. So he's also the one of the directors of Narayana Hospital. So he has established along with his partners. So he is the convener of this world conference, that is second world conference on advances in COVID-19. So he's very great person. Out of his very busy schedule, he has taken some time for us. So here we go. Dr. Prithvi Chakravarti, he will be the live. He'll be on live today. So please enjoy his talk.
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Fatima, can you confirm me I'm audible? Okay, thank you. I welcome all to second World COVID Conference. Okay. So I'm basically orthopedic surgeon, a proud orthopedic surgeon. So I'm the CEO and one of the director of Bangalore Genomic Center. We started this 5 years back. So we do multiple things in our company, like we do big data analysis, bioinformatics. We train people on genomics and bioinformatics. We trained nearly around 1,500 people in last 3.5 years. We do many diagnostic studies, whole genome sequencing, exome, all data analysis and sequencing of plant, animal, name the things. We are mainly into sequencing, NGS, and all the other aspects of the modern science. This conference, what we have just shouldered the responsibility, okay, is one of the need of the hour, is what we felt around 1.5 months back. The world, how it was, the impact just before COVID. The life was going on. We were like busy in our schedule. Life was running, everything. And if you see our lives, the world has not seen that fast change which happened in last say about 30 to 40 years. Like it was slow. Like in last 30, 40 years, we saw technological advancement from agricultural revolution to industrial revolution to internet revolution to e-commerce revolution to data revolution. So much. And just before COVID, because we are in science as a company, we were like excited about one thing called gene editing. I was super duper excited about that. Like how the world can be. Like if you see the last few years, the moment CRISPR-Cas came, people are talking so much about curing so many diseases. People are talking about controlling the evolution, like the way in Australia, New Zealand continent, that side Oceania, they controlled rodents through gene editing. In Africa, they were controlling malaria through gene editing. So this was the scenario. We were like almost going for gene right. We were creating an organism. Like people were talking about creating a chromosome. That was scenario. We were like almost people were telling, okay, we are in control of nature. We are like controlling the evolution. That was the talk which was going on. Like if you see the change suddenly what happened in last 6 months, such a complex being, what we call human, is being challenged by a 29,000 letter word. The whole cosmos is being written by ATGC, 4 letters, that's it. What we give the name, 4 bases. Entire cosmos, everything in the planet. And in human cell, we have 3 billion letters. 3 billion letters, which we were talking about controlling evolution, etc., is challenged by a 29,000 letter virus. And the whole world came to a still. It's an unprecedented, uncertain time what we are facing. In these moments, there was no answer, and there, I don't know, now also we are in very uncertain times. A virus came and challenged and put us into total uncertainty. And different parts of the world were affected to different gravity and intensity. So we thought 1.5 2 months back, okay, we want to bring every domain, every scientific temper under one roof in the internet, in Zoom or whatever platform, and we share the ideas. One of the reason we did first World COVID conference was some part of the world, the practitioners has some success in treating patients, and the other part of the world was about to come. So we wanted them to share the knowledge so that we save a lot of human beings. In this aspect, we put our whole forward, and we partnered with Sarvasmana last time, and we did the first World COVID conference. Thanks to a lot of scientists, doctors from traditional medicine, practitioners, all those, they came and enlightened that conference. After this, we are so much excited to partner this time with High Altitude Pulmonary and Pathology Institute. Dr. Gustavo, Dr. Natalia, it's really great to be working with you people. With them, we are just shouldering this conference to bring every domain and every great speakers in one platform so that it makes a difference in treating the patients. So this is why we are doing this conference. And one myth I want to take out, that this conference we are just shouldering the responsibility, that's it, nothing else. This is a time where I can say one individual or one organization can't say this is what we have done, this virus has done one wonderful thing, it belongs to everyone. What I mean to say, this conference belongs to every individual. Right now, if you take, almost every individual knows much about COVID. So every individual can write a book on COVID. That's how it is. We're just bringing people into one limelight, sharing the knowledge to their better life. Yep. So this is, I really welcome all for this conference.
So thank you, Dr. Prithvi, for that. So I understand you are an orthopedic surgeon. So as a doctor, so you have to attend the COVID duty. Hope I'm right. So how do you feel when treating patients? What are the challenges you come across?
Okay. That's a great question actually. Uh, yeah, when we do COVID duty, there are lakhs and lakhs of doctors, nurses, assistants, police personnel. Everybody is on duty, and maybe this is the first time like people unconditionally, unequally keeping their most of their interest. They came forward, they served, knowing that this can endanger their life. There are lots and lots of people. Big salute to them. I don't know. I don't have any words to say. People have died their lives in the service, like that. They made it as their dharma, their virtue. A big salute to them. That's why I'm telling. Like this conference belongs to everyone. And if you say my experience or what my thought process, one thing when this virus hit the mankind, one basic thing, what I feel, this has not come to kill anybody. It has jumped from a bat to the mammalian organism and to multiple other amphibians. I don't know where all it is. The studies are still going on. This want to live. If it has to live, it should not kill us. So it is adopting. As the time changes, the virulence may decrease. So initially, not only this virus, all those organisms which happened to the mankind since time immemorial. Okay, I'm not talking only about last 100 years, like Spanish flu, MERS, SARS, etc. Ebola. Before that also, there are so many organisms which has hit the mankind. It wants to be a part of our system, part of our genome. When it wants to be a part of the genome, it adopts. And that we also adopt. Some people, the body has a challenge. It may adopt, it may not adopt. So sometimes that's why most of the people they are adopting, and unfortunately some people are losing life. If you take, it's a good question like what experience. Lot of people they wear PPE kit, long hours, etc. I've seen people when they come, they're tired, but they go in, they survive. Not doctors alone, police person. How many defense person have given their lives in this service? So if you take the makeup of a human, we will not talk about okay as a human or me. I'll talk about as an organism. I'm also an organism. How I have been designed. If you take the difference between a lower animal and me, we have neocortex. In the neocortex, there are 1,000 crore neurons. And if you see every neuron in some way or the other way connected to other neuron. If you take the number of connections, nobody knows. They say it is the connections is much more than put together all the atoms on the planet. That complex is human neural system. The same way is respiratory system. If you take the respiratory system, it is like a football. If you open it up, the same way is the GIT. The GIT they say it's gut feeling. Now you see what is gut feeling. There are microorganisms over there. They decide what to eat, how do you sleep, etc., etc. Like last few years, it's microbiome and humans. How one individual is different from the other individual. If you take me, my own gene only 10%, 90% is all the microbiomes, beneficial bacteria, viruses, fungal, what all the things I have. So I don't live alone on this planet inside. So this treatment aspect has come to limelight when the uncertain times we give the nature to heal itself. The better I adapt to the environment and the equilibrium, the better it is. That's why people went back initially after this hit into this uncertain times. People start finding, am I equipped? How will I survive? There is no bigger stress on this planet more than the life itself. This is what we feel like. That challenge came. Then everybody started adapting to their basic immunity. So when we treat also, initially what it hit, it was about respiratory system. Then we are talking about say about multi-organ failure. Then GI system gets affected. Then we say anosmia, we lose loss of taste, smell, etc. Then we said, okay, no, immune system is also get affected. Then we told, no, brain system, then neural system. Then we told it's a clotting mechanism. So on and so forth. So many different theories. There is so many different. Maybe this is the virus which has been highly studied till date. So when we go inside, what we give mild, moderate, severe patient, like how do we treat them? And suddenly one thing came few months back, like steroid as early as you give, the better it is. So this uncertain period has put the medical field into their toes, and I feel like we're still evolving. We're still that's why this conference is so rich because in this conference, if you see what topics we are covering from epidemiology of the world scenario, of Indian scenario, of eastern part of the world, northern, southern, the different time zones. That's why in this conference we have kept different time zones to in the respect that participants can come across the world with their adaptive timing. So in India we have kept early morning around 7 it starts, 7 to 11 or 12. Then it goes in the evening 4 to 8. So it accommodates everybody. Then we cover from epidemiology, we'll see the statistical analysis, how it can go forward. If you take Spain flu, it also started similarly in Jan. It has first wave. In the winter season, again the second wave. Then third wave, fourth wave was okay. But Spanish flu, it was second wave was more horrible. That's what people say. So we don't know how it's God's grace, like because there should not be second wave. So in this respect, when the top economists, the statistical analytic people, when they come and speak, it makes sense. I am excited to listen to what they say. Then we are keeping in mind, like how previous viruses occurred to the human beings and how we conquered it and how we adapted. For example, every year we give vaccination for certain viruses, we don't have an answer, but we adapting to them. After this, we go for the genomic part of it, the structural part of the virus. What I know many people know, okay, these are the proteins, these are the genes, etc., which is getting affected. We go to the genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, multiomics, everything and pharmaceutical discovery, how it can be made, we decipher it. Then we're gonna talk about human genome project, entire genomic structure. There's beautiful speakers regarding this. Then we're going to talk about Earth Biogenome Project. My system, I get excited when I talk this word called Earth Biogenome Project. Last November 1st, this Earth Biogenome Project was introduced. Every organism on the planet will be sequenced and the database will be kept. Arguably, this may be the biggest revolution in the science the mankind would have seen. What is the intention of Earth Biogenome Project? We want to create and hold the database of every known organism so that some can get extinct in next 50 60 years. It is going to teach the evolutionary part, how the evolution occurred. And third one is, if something happens to human beings to increase the age, that is what people are talking. Some microorganism will there, some organism, that genome will take and put into ourselves. That was a motto of what people are talking, and that will be there. And we are talking about microbiome. We are talking about what is the diagnostic criteria. We are talking about antigen-based methodology, antibody-based methodology, PCR, CPNAT. There are so many methodology of diagnosis. There can be NGS-based methodology. Then we're going to talk about what is the different aspect of blood parameters which are emerging, how they are going to help us. Then we will be having multiple speakers about traditional aspect, what Ayurveda is going to say, what Unani is going to say, what yoga, Siddha, what Bolivian or other continent traditional medicines are telling. We are trying to get Chinese medicine, Japanese medicine, how like this traditional aspect which are 5,000, 6,000 years old. They last time the speakers came and told there is something called Anu. This was described 5,000 years back. That aspect people are going to showcase. There are people who have first-hand data regarding that. Then people are going to talk about allopathic part. Like I'm excited what Gustavo says. More than trachea bronchi, it is the bronchiolysis. Once the bronchial is silent, pneumolysis should have occurred. This pneumolysis, this is what it says. And if you put the intubation and if you pump, it may be hazardous. So that's why NIV, part of ventilation, that's what is making a difference. We were talking about like high altitude. In high altitude, how hypoxia, why there is less amount of cases and mortality in hypoxia related areas like Bolivia, La Paz, the roof of the world, or the Tibet. Why? And when he says, I always think about what Indian mythology says: the lesser times you breathe in a minute, the longer you live. For example, we breathe around 16 to 18 times a minute and we live for say about a certain number of years. If you say tortoise and elephant, they breathe less, maybe 3 to 5 or 8 times, and they live for like hundreds of years. That's I'm excited. In India also, it's talking about hypoxia. We are always people are successful living in Himalayas. Like how the body adapts. This is a beautiful. Let's not take our names. Let's talk about humans. How they are adopting. What equilibrium they are having. Then we have speakers regarding every other aspect, like cardiology and COVID, respiratory and COVID, GI system and COVID, hypertension, diabetes, coagulopathies. We have gynecology, obstetrics, neural sciences. Every speaker from their masters from their domain, they are going to come and speak. And we have speakers from vaccine. What I can say about this, we have like the dials from US, from India, from all part of the world, like great speakers, even Oxford people who are heading the vaccine development. We are so fortunate, like, and gratitude. They're coming and sharing their knowledge to the planet. What's happening? Nanotechnology, CRISPR, stem cell therapy. So we have exciting speakers, and the end we're gonna have the people from multiple domain, like political issues, health ministers. We're going to have a brainstorming session regarding this. So this is even I can't. I'm excited to this. That's why I'm telling you this conference doesn't belong to two organizations. This is very, very clear. It's a conference where we have organizing committee across the planet. You name the country, almost one or the other way, they are contributing directly or indirectly. So it is everybody's conference. Just we, some people want to come and take initiative. That's what we took initiative. Everybody has joined hands just for the sake of humanity. And one beautiful thing, after the COVID has done one certain difference. There is a time when people are telling, it is my paper, it is mine, it is my data. No. This is like everybody's, this COVID. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is contributing. It doesn't belong to anyone. This human body belongs to, like, not me or somebody. It's this data, everything belongs to everybody. So people said 2020 is gone. I feel 2020 is the one, in one way, which brought aliveness. It brought certainty to uncertainty, which is the basic philosophy of a human. The moment we're born, we knew we were going to die. That uncertainty was always in the background. We always thought that we are going to live for 1,000 years. That's how human system and the make is. This came and told, no, you can die. This is what, so people, doctors, engineers, means whoever is going there inside, they go uncertain and they're serving like, so that's make this experience something extraordinary which I don't have any words. Thanks, Mahesh, for that question.
Uh, Thank you, Dr. Prithvi. So, so yes, as you said, people have to adapt to the situation what we are going through right now, right? Maybe one day will come like that. Maybe there'll be one day where people start to live with this COVID, and also they start adapting to the virus. So since virus is very small, it will just since the virus is very small, it will adapt very fast. So since we humans are complex, we take time to adapt. So are you sure that one day we live with this virus?
Okay, very interesting question. I'll put it this way. Okay, if you see our, if you say as humans, we are one among 7 billion people in this planet, right? Like it is huge, and we are one part of it. If you take is universe, they say like 100 crore galaxies are there in this planet, in this universe. And the scientists even say if you take this universe as one drop of water, they're talking multiverse. Like one drop of water, you don't know a river is running or a ocean is running. That means you're a part of 7 billion. And if you take the dimension, it is Milky Way. If you take the universe, 100 crore galaxies are there. If you take one universe, a drop of water, you don't know ocean is running or the river is running. And it has to run in the background, right? So we don't know what is the entirety of this cosmos, right? And the other way around, 13.4 billion years back, Big Bang, once one thing exploded. And the humanity from that time, the multiple organs over the last 10,000 or something years, we are seeing the life as in sort of humanity or something. Okay. So if you take, will we adapt? We adopted many times. More than when I say I adopt, everything is in the language. When we adopt, do I have? More than do I have, this body will adapt. This is what I feel. This body has adopted multiple times. Maybe this virus will become a beneficial part of the human. Maybe after 1,000 years, 2,000 years, I don't know, 100 years or something. There are so many organisms inside us. And as I'm telling you, we are not alone in this body. There's so many other things like beneficial bacteria, maybe virus, fungus, I don't know. Like so much things are there. Like so one day it can also become. That's what. If you see the entire cosmos, that say the life of human, like if you take 13.4 billion years back as like today, they say 6 seconds back, Jesus was born, 4 seconds back, Jesus was born, 6 seconds back, Buddha was born. That shortest span human beings have. In the entirety, in the gravity and the time span also. In that one, I feel there are multiple organisms have invaded, being a part of us. There is a symbiotic relationship, and it's a beautiful system. If you see the human body and any other amphibian, whatever, properly, objectively, it is a beautiful design. For example, if you see the lower animals, they have still brainstem and midbrain. Spinal reflex, you do not need for it. Spinal reflex automatically happens, it's a conditioned reflex. If you take the brainstem or midbrain, fight, flight, and freeze, automatic. In the same way, there are patterns and patterns. So human body, voluntary, involuntary, it is adapting to itself. It will adapt, it will survive. It will have a symbiotic relationship not only with virus in the future, whatever it comes. So how this virus evolved, how it came to mankind, I don't know. I can't go into that debate. But I tell every human mammalian has an innate capacity to adapt, to survive, and to explore. That's what I feel.
Yeah, so very true, Dr. Prithvi. So it resembles that every person in this planet has its own space. Every person, every organism in this planet wants to live. So it is a place for all, not only one. So coming to the conference, so you are the you are the convener of this conference. So what are your efforts in this conference? How important is this conference to the public? and also for the scientists, students, and faculty.
How important is this conference? First of all, this second conference. What, as I told, actually we wanted to do with Sarvasona, we wanted to do a genomic conference, and this is what we thought around 2 months back. Then me and other couple of people, we thought, okay, why should we go for genomic conference? The world is going for COVID. Then we told, okay, we have not done much in COVID. Like we told, nothing. It's okay. We will have a stand for this conference. So we thought, okay, when there is no answer for this disease, so we'll bring every discipline, every domain under one roof. And as I told, we wanted different people to share their knowledge under one platform. So what was the importance of it? Let's not ignore traditional medicine or any other thing, because that is much more older, and they have given answer to so many things, immunological things, etc. So we want to bring them under world platform and share their experience, and it will help the mankind. We wanted at that time people from Italy, Europe, those places where it was earlier affected, to come and share their knowledge, so that other countries which are not that affected, it will help their knowledge and it will help their practice, and we can save a lot of people, lot of loved ones. This conference is much richer, because the people who are working day in and day out to create the vaccine, the pharmacological developments, the diagnostic criteria, people who are the doyens who stood over there, what we call COVID warriors, they are going to come and share their experiences. There are multiple data, there are multiple webinars. Like today, like every individual, every day they watch TV, they read a lot, they know much of the things. But in this conference, people who have, like from first day stood there, worked there, they're going to come and share their authentic, objective experience who was there. So that makes it very rich, and the diversity. You name the field, we have done our best to bring everybody onto one platform, every field, so that it helps every individual. It's a very big learning experience. So that's what this conference will make a difference. Next, it's exciting to know how high altitude and pulmonary medicine, how that is going to help. Because I don't know, somehow, like when Dr. Gustav says, like, yeah, high altitude, etc. Last time it was very exciting for me. Oh, this is how it is. People at high altitude, they have less, means affected less, because the body mechanism is different. The same human beings, etc. And people are waiting for vaccine. What is the latest update about vaccines? People are talking about nanotechnology, stem cell therapy, plasma therapy. What is the take? Because there is so much uncertainty, we have little haziness over there. So that, and what is the standard protocol? We have so many standard protocol. Amazing work has been done. So that from the first-hand experience, we are going to get enriched by that. As I told, one beautiful thing is today it is not me, you, like there was nothing wrong about it. When we used to go for any conference, people will take this is my data, like this is etc. Today it is me, today it is we. Yesterday Dr. Natalia was telling one word. Today this data doesn't belong to one person. It doesn't belong to this person. This is my work. We started. Today it is one word. There is no boundaries. This virus has not done any differentiation in viruses. It has affected the film actors also, politicians also, the top-notch prime ministers also, presidents also, everybody. The kings also, the scientists. And one thing I really want to share, One which is very heartening is there are so many professionals who got retired and who are having a retired life. They felt a need that they are needed for this service. They came out of retirement. They went to the service, knowing that it can affect their life. They served and they lost their life. I don't know how to explain this, but this is what the people they're going to come and share their rich knowledge in this conference. I don't know. I can't put it much better way. It is not anybody's conference. It is the human existence. It belongs to everyone. So that's what I'm telling. I'm inviting, and every penny at the end of this conference, we have decided it will be used for research, education, and improve the scientific temper. So that's what I feel. That makes this conference very rich.
So very true, doctor. It has not only affected the top leaders, but also the doctors who are treating, so the doctors who are treating, then the patients, the nurses, the clerks, every person who are involved in this. Sorry, some connectivity issues. So yes, as I was telling, it has affected the each and every living being on this planet. So this is a very it has brought the world to the very pathetic condition. So where even in few cities and few nations we are lacking beds to treat the patients. So this is very heartening. And this conference, I hope this will be a very great because we can learn from the people's experience. So there are various scientists, doctors who will be sharing their experience also in how to go about it, and also sharing few successful stories also about how they treat patients, how patients overcome the pandemic and the virus. So there'll be a different test which we are doing, like say about in India we're doing RT-PCR, CBNAT. So what are the different aspects of this? How relevant is this? So there'll be it'll be a very diverse conference. True, Dr. Prithvi?
Yeah, as I told, one word which this virus has brought forth in every one of us is called uncertainty. Unprecedented impact. Like what we saw last time when this epidemic was there, I was traveling for I flew outside India for a fellowship. At that time, we were like tensed, okay, this is increasing, but it stopped at epidemic. This is a pandemic. It has put everybody into uncertainty from economy to everybody. So the same way, it has put the diagnostic criteria, the treatment aspect, everything into uncertainty. And vaccine development, it never ever happened. If it comes now in such a short time, the government organizations they cross their limit to make a difference. So there is uncertainty. What you're telling is like diversity. This diversity and uncertainty are like it collapsed now. Whatever helps, we didn't have time to think or act. People jump forward. And different challenges. How people are being tested. Initially, we thought about okay, PCR-based analysis. Then we thought, okay, we'll go for antibody, like will it IgG, IgA, IgM. Then we told, okay, in this antigen, then we told we'll pool multiple samples into one and we'll see only positive one vial 5 samples, if positive, then only we'll repeat that. Then we are talking about, okay, all in India, all BBMP and that local, everybody will be tested. So this diversity of diagnosis and treatment, I feel is still evolving. And I don't know, it looks like NGS based, next generation sequencing based diagnosis may come forward. I recently spoke to somebody, they are telling 36,000 samples can be done in 24 hours in one machine, right? NGS based, and it is the most authentic. Like I know PCR is gold standard. There, like in PCR, you'll come to know whether this is there or not. In NGS, you'll come to know every ATGC, like end to end, 29,000 letters. That's it, nothing else. So that may be the way forward. I don't know. Or we go to PCR is the gold standard, but NGS somewhere it may knock the door for diagnostic aspect and treatment aspect. We are talking about remdesivir, corticosteroids, so many other things. I don't know. That's what I'm excited to hear from people in this conference. There are some people who have experienced it. Some drugs in Bolivia, in Mexico, I think they're coming out for showcasing. Okay, this is our experience in this. So that's what I'm telling you. As you and me, like we're excited to know, like what's happening, what is the drugs which are coming, etc. And that's what makes this conference very rich. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Prithvi. So this conference is going to be very rich, filled up with most talented speakers, and also we'll have participants throughout the world. So this is going to be a very unique conference, which is going to be held from 27th of August to 30th of August. So I hope people who are watching this will surely join for the conference and get rich knowledge from the conference. And as of today, so thank you, Dr. Prithvi. It was really great of having you and your talk, your experience. It was as a doctor, like you know how to treat patients. You know what are the challenges. So when it comes to conference, there will be other doctors also, other physicians also who will be sharing this. So it will be a sharing of knowledge between like-minded people. So this will travel a lot. So this is the one uniqueness of this conference where people is going to enjoy about it. And sharing of ideas from this conference, though it is too much. You can share n number of ideas about COVID, about different aspects of COVID, and different disciplines of speakers are also coming to have a talk on this, I guess. So this conference is going to be very unique. So your words on this, Dr. Prithvi.
As I told, this word called uncertainty. You know what? How rich is this word called uncertainty? Because when you are uncertain, the humans have patterns. We know what we're going to encounter. When we encounter something in life, when the challenge is posed for you. So, first thing we see, do I have the armamentarium to combat this challenge? And most of the times, the automatic way of being of humans is we keep predicting. Okay, this, like we perceive something, we act something, we think, like we try to see, okay, whether I have the ability to survive or not. But when you are pushed into uncertainty, you are open for every challenge. You are open for every solution. You are open for every domain. You are open for everybody's advice. You are open for every concept, every dogmas, every theories, every feelings, every emotions, every thought, everything you welcome. You will be like alive when the uncertainty. That is the beauty of uncertainty. And I don't know how to put this. I may fall in trouble also by telling this. People want to forget 2020, but if you see, first time many people have asked the question, "Who am I? How am I? How am I built? How am I designed?" So objectively, the evidence-based medicine and the speakers. More than speakers, like it is sharing the experience of one individual to the other individual. We are all travelers. We are traveling in this planet. You are a traveler, I am a traveler. So I have some experience I'll share with you. And this uncertainty, other point of times, if somebody comes and tells you, you're telling, okay, somebody is telling something. When we go to conference, okay, I know this almost this thing. I'll just see what extra point he will tell. And I'll say, I'll enjoy and come back. But this conference, you know, you're uncertain. It's an unprecedented impact. I don't know the path. We call in India, it's called Brahman, the unknown path, moving towards God. So, in this time, every cell will be, everybody's antenna will be alert. Okay, this is what? Okay, how? Because it's directly related to me. Do I have the armor? Tomorrow, if I get it, will I survive? Will my loved one survive? So this makes, and this is coming from the people who are working on it, who have worked on it. So that makes it something different. So that's what my thought process regarding this. So this conference is directly related to you, like directly related to human beings, animals. I'm seriously surprised. When the lockdown was on, there are so many people who knew if they come out, the Prime Minister came and told lockdown, don't step out. There are so many people. Every day they were making food and they should come and feed the street dogs. Like the love for the dog, other things like this brought so many things out of the human beings. The love towards the planet, the love towards the animals. Like as I'm telling, like any other things, this is something rich. As I'm telling you, it is not one or two. It is one world, one planet, one cosmos. It is one entity. It is not like other animals and beings. Maybe this, who knows, so many viruses would have happened like epidemic pandemic to the other animals which have not affected the humans. So this has made science very rich. And second one, I feel if something of this sort comes in future, epidemic, pandemic, human beings, this has taught the world. There are multiple research centers have come. They'll be up and on running to find a solution. So I can't say this has made, I'll be in big trouble if I say this has got all the good things. There is a thing, it has got so much good out of humanity. So many innovations happened. Like the planet spoke by itself. That's what I can say. The planet speaks, and the greenery what you saw. And as Dr. Malali always loves green afforestation, like this has brought the world to a standstill and the nature healed by itself. We are travelers, we come and go. Like we saw one unprecedented thing, a beauty of nature, how it adapted. So that's what this is a philosophy. This conference is also a philosophy. It's a way of, I can't say way of being. I don't know how to put forth. This conference is something unique on its own. It's life, it's aliveness. That's what I can put forward. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, Dr. Prithvi. This is what, like, you get all loved ones. You started to care about each and every person who is next to you. Because if not this, people would have told hi, bye, and then they would have gone. But, people started asking the wellness of each of the company. This has brought the world together. So, hope this is a never ending talk, and the talk will just keep on going and going and going. So it's the time to end the session. So thank you, Dr. Prithvi. So thank you very much for sharing all your ideologies and thoughts amidst your busy schedule and coming on live with us. So let's meet on the conference. So here for all the viewers who are watching this. So this conference, as you heard with Dr. Prithvi, he was all about saying about the conference. This is going to be a very great platform. So where, speakers throughout the world are coming, and they're just not participating, they're sharing their thoughts, their work. regarding the pandemic. So please come and join us on the World Conference Advances in COVID-19 from 27th to 30th of August. So thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Prithvi.
Thanks, Mahesh. Thanks for the opportunity and inviting us and inviting me for this talk. And I, I invite everybody over here to kindly come attend this conference. I'm very sure it will enrich way of being for you. It will help you and your families. And so many medical practitioners. A big salute to all the people, police personnel, healthcare workers, the volunteers. I can see the volunteers who are sitting down, the youth, they came forward, they stood on the road to maintain the traffic, they fed the animals, etc. So all these people I really welcome. Please attend this conference and see for yourself what is there and how we can be better and how we can serve the planet better. So I invite each one of you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks a lot. Have a great life. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Prithvi. So this is a great opportunity for all. So I hope nobody misses this. So we are waiting for you at the conference. So see you all there. Thank you. Bye. See ya.